Choose early, but not always quickly. Follow a few basic rules when making choices early and often. First, so I'm clear, I'm not suggesting you start making a display of activity or make changes when you are really unsure. Your decisions don't have to be perfect. By making them, you learn what works and doesn't work, so the next choice you make will be better. In the same way, taking risks is rooted in knowing the difference between dumb risks and smart ones. In his book Blink, Malcolm Gladwell famously popularized the psychological model of thin slicing judgments and decisions based on minimal amounts of data and lifelong experience. Gladwell uses the example of John Gottman, a well-known marriage expert who claimed he could prove, within an hour of observing a couple, with 95% accuracy, if the couple would stay together for at least 15 years. The application of thin slicing to our discussion lies in the scientific basis of the reliability of your own knowledge and experience when you make choices. When you are in a new field or subject area or a totally unfamiliar environment, it makes sense that you will be more deliberate in your choices until you gain confidence. Keep in mind that when you choose early, you are often overcoming reluctance and the fear of making a decision. Choosing quickly is simply making the decision, no matter what the outcome. In the hiring process, for example, the consequences of your choices affect other people and even the viability of your team or business. This decision-making process should unspool until you have met and vetted enough candidates and had other stakeholders interview the finalists. Rushing this sequence would be fast. Making the offer as soon as you are confident you have enough data and are comfortable would be early. I just hired a new assistant. She was willing to go through a 2-month interview process. I made the choice of whom to hire slowly, but I chose to bring on a new assistant early. I didn't wait until I was so far into the weeds that even the best executive assistant in the world would have a hard time helping me recover. The myth of underreparation. Finally, choosing early and often is the heart of the rehearsal process. If you're not choosing, you're not preparing. The best performers in the world are ready to go before they walk on stage. Some may joke around with the prop master a moment before their entrance, others may sit quietly in a corner, and others will be bouncing up and down on their toes to pick up their energy, but they're all relaxed in their own way, and they're ready to go. They've rehearsed effectively, they've made their decisions ahead of time. They're not making their choices during the performance. They're not winging it. As a result of making their choices ahead of time, they're relaxed at showtime. And, more importantly, they're not dreading the performance. On the contrary, they're excited to perform. That may be the biggest difference between performers and other individuals who are worried about their performances. Performers can't wait to get on stage. Others are somewhat intimidated, nervous, or even scared about walking up to the podium or looking into a camera, in large part because they're not prepared. They haven't made big, clear, bold choices in preparation for the moment. Furthermore, there are still executives and leaders out there who promote the myth that they don't need to prepare or rehearse because they're so good on their feet. 9 times out of 10, show me someone putting their slides together the night before a presentation, and I'll show you a procrastinator who has not overcome his or her fears and anxiety about performing. Having seen hundreds of underprepared speeches, I can easily analyze them for the numerous ways their lack of rehearsal shows through and undermines everything that moment could have meant for them. It takes far more courage to start choosing, writing, and rehearsing early, courage that I know you have today.